Okay. So here establish the emptiness through the one and establish the emptiness through the many. So one and many is depend each others. So usually we're talking about the one. Talking means we think one is the truly exist. It's not depend with any things. So this is since we thinking about the numbers or we thinking about something, then they are we always thinking this is the one. But when we analyze, then there has no one, and then there's no one, then there's no many. So without one, then we cannot say one many, right? If there's no one person, that is little. If there's no one person, still we can say there's 10 people. This is the way of the thinkings have something, right? When we think about one person is the individually someone has not, but inside right now on this teaching talking about the numbers. If we count the 10 without one, then there's no 10. This is usually we also know that, right? And then without many, still there's one or not. That has, right? It is without many, but there's no more people but one person, we can say. But they here not like that. It's depend each others. For example, one fundamental is okay. So this is we have thinking different ways. If we say there's one, but there's no many. There's only one fruit, but there's no many fruits. That we can say. But why we say one? One. This thinking comes from where, you know? Then your wisdom come up. One is come from where? One is equal to the many or not? One is equal to the many. Through the many, then one is come. One is come is the identify of the one. What we say one means it's depend with the many. One is depend on the sky. One is depend on the earth. No, right? In relative truth, they are not depend each others. But one is equal to the many. If there has a many, if there is a many, then one is exist there. If there is no many, then there is no one. One is equal to the many. Many and one. In order to one means no many, right? No more. One means no more. So more is if we say there are some more, then one is including this more. If there's no one, then there's no two. There's no two, there's no three. So if there's no many, then there's no one. It's like in calculate or your mathematics, right? mathematics. You think carefully, they are related to each other or not. It's really related to each other. Why we say one? Because of the many. Somewhere has many, or somewhere has no many. Through this way we say one. One is made by through the many. So they are depend each others through numbers. And then at same time here talking about the times. Time, right? The times are past, present, and future. These three times. These three times are equal to each others. If there's no future, there's no past. If there's no past and future, there's no present. What do you think? If there's no present, then there's the future or not? There's no present, there's no past or not? If there's no past and future, there's no present. There's no present, then why we can say future? The future may become present. If we say there's no present, the future is become present. If future is become present, then there's no future. If there's no future, then there's no past. Make sense? Thinking like this way. Yeah, this is and more and one and present, past, future, they are equal to each others. And then tomorrow. Tomorrow is equal to today. If there's no today, then there's no tomorrow. If there's no yesterday, there's no today. They are related to each others. They are really related to each others, truly. So you check something. When you analyze, investigate about these things, sometimes what do you think? First you investigate it. It's your appearance or your kind of your idea is like a opposite of this what we teach, you know. Or he says in this teaching we say no more, then there's no one. Oh, no more still can exist one. That thinking. And in this teaching say without today there's no tomorrow. But it is exist without today. Today is today. Today there's no yesterday, right? Today there's no yesterday. This is exist. And then past, without present still have past. Without past but still have present. Because today there's no past, but the still present is here. This idea come. Make clear? First you come this idea, but then you stop to investigate there, stop to analyze there, then you did not understood. then you just satisfy with that. Then your knowledge is just the normal knowledge. This is without investigate. Still we know. Yeah. Today there's no yesterday. Today there is yesterday or not? Today there's no yesterday, right? Yeah, everybody knows that. So these ideas come through this investigation or this the way of the analyze. That moment, if you stop there, then your mind is normal. Your investigation has no result that much. But you keep going continuously. Okay, thank you. There's somebody right there. Continuously, you have to investigate. You have to investigate continuously. How? Oh, today, yesterday is not today. There is no yesterday, but why we call today? Oh, because yesterday yesterday is past. So yesterday, according to the yesterday, that's why we're talking about the today. This day is today. And due to the past is past, right? Through this way, why we call it right now, this is present, because it's past. Past is gone. Through this way, we just call the present. This moment we call the present. And why we call the future? Because this is the here, and the past is gone. Through this way, we call the future. Tomorrow is future. So through the time, you check about the investigate, you come in, then you figure out, oh, they are according to each others. They are related to each others. They are related to each others. But if you understood, oh, they are the past, present, future, today, tomorrow, yesterday, and they are you know, then what is that? You know, those things are related to each others. Then what is the result? You have to think like that. If there's no some different informations, then whether we know that or don't know is same thing. No, what is called? This is if we know past, present, future according to each others, if we understood that or not, it doesn't matter. Similar, right now I stay outside of the stupa, just look at the sky to look the clouds. They are move different directions. Just I look in there. So I know these clouds move somewhere. What is the reason? There's no reason. Similar like that. But if you know past and present and future, they are related to each other, they are dependent each other, then you know one thing's what? One is interdependent each others. That's number one. And also, you talking about the mind. Usually we're talking about the material things. For example, this book, and first page, second page, third page, and colors, and letters. If we separate each and every part different ways, and then we easily understood there's no truly exist book, just to be labor. But mind is not like that. Mind, we cannot make different part. And the sky is a little difficult to make a little bit different parts, right? Especially mind, we cannot make different part as the book and as these material things. But when we established our mind, when we established the emptiness of our mind, that moment, past, present, future, these things are very important. Through these three things, we have to establish. We have to establish. Where is the mind? For example, a moment ago, my mind, if there's no past, then there's no moment ago. Because there's no past, then there's no yesterday. If there's no yesterday, then there's no moment ago. It's gone. There's no. Right? If then your mind is always present. Then your mind is, if always present, then your mind is permanent. Your mind is not impermanent. If your mind is not impermanent, if you think your mind is not impermanent, then why it is changing? Sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy. Sometimes laughing, sometimes cry. Sometimes anger, sometimes attachment. Why? If this is permanent, then there's no way to change, right? But it is change. But when we analyze about this mind, then there's no truly exist. The mind is true. Mind is also interdependent. So which things are interdependent, then they are emptiness. So that's where right now we establish the emptiness of the mind. And your mind and your mind's emptiness is also same. This same means, right now we're talking about the one or many. It's related with that. If we know there's no many, there's no one, they are related to each other. So if we know that, then what is the result, right? There's like a time pass. If we know that. But through this way, what we have to know is our mind is no more and no one. And without investigation, especially the relative truth, we say we have one mind. Right? And then we have 51 mentalities. Usually we say that. But when we investigate, there's no mind. Of course, there's no 51 mentalities. That's where one or more both is illusion or just a label. In this moment, we're teaching on the emptiness. We don't want to talk more illusion. Because perhaps it's a little bit funny, but because we're talking about the illusion, that moment we are comes from this some identify of the some exist, truly exist, but still our mind focusing with some like a rainbow or some magician or something like a dream or echo or something. Our mind focus towards there, right? My mind is too like that. That's where we directly say yes or no. That's better. Yes or no means they okay. When the relative truth exists then, but ultimate truth, they are beyond of the illusion. Make sense? I don't know why I love it. But I remember something. When my teachers taught me about that, sometimes I'm much like this. What is called this? Desire, right? Yeah, yeah. So I think perhaps you are happened like that, maybe. But you have a basic knowledge. So that's where when I learn those things, I have zero experience and zero the knowledge, right? Just heard this, and so then it's much like a confused. But you have basic knowledge. That's where, especially the mathematics, you have mathematics. They are really help to the. I think it's a help to this kind of, because its thinking is very subtle, right? Usually one or many is very easy. It's easy peasy really. But there's a different way of thinking. Then there's some understanding. This understanding is much sweet, actually. So that's where I what is called laughing. All right, I am laughing. Right? So the mind is first we establish in the interdependent, and the interdependent is emptiness, right? So that is the truly, we can say truly, but I'm not sure. Right now you think that is truly, or you think just you talking think about some like a what is called this, like a story, fairy tale. Not real. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The moral is true. But sometimes it's good, right? That means you focusing on there. When you are become indifferent, then that means you're physically here, but mentally you are flying above the clouds. Your mind is much busy than the clouds, right? So it's good. It's sometimes confused. It's good. Then you check, analyze. there's coming some sweet informations, really. Especially right now I teach, you have no more time to meditate on there. When you meditate, this is called analytical meditation. That moment you establish one by one, step by step. It's really sweet. And then you become smart, right? So otherwise, if long-term meditate, sorry, let me just say, long-term meditate, nothing to establish anything, it's become crazy of a sheep. Have you heard before? Crazy of sheep? I don't know, that in just Tibetan say, sheep, you know, right? Sheep. There's the craze of a sheep, and then they get the stone at their head, and then they have no feeling in order to whatever do. Otherwise, in Tibetan sheep are afraid with the dogs, because the dogs bargain, then they run away. But if they're crazy, and then after 10 dogs coming in front of them, but they are indifferent. Yeah, they don't care anything. Sorry. We don't want to be crazy sheep. Yeah, I don't know you are like that. So we don't want to be like the crazy of sheep, right? And also we don't want to be crazy of the monkey. And if you can be crazy of a monk, still fun. In Tibet, I have a craze of monk. We call the cities, right? Some of cities. Yeah, they are wonderful. If we can be like that, then wonderful, really. There's some stories are so sweet, because their talks is kind of these things, the interdependent. And then they sometimes what made is they give us some advice. If we do wrong things, some people's mind is completely bad, and then they do something with them, fixed or some there. Yeah, they change into the good character and something like that. So outside, whatever, they cannot change completely your mind. Your mind can change by only yourself, especially through your meditate, analytical meditate. So meditate means not always with one place and one question and one house. Whenever you working, eating, talking, many of ways. So that is the good meditation. Then you have carefully. You have your behavior. What is called your behavior is more kind of the what is called is more careful and something. In order to, you are walking on the road, there's some ants and something. Then you already know, oh, if you kill them, it's not good. That is non-virtuous. So then you go in somewhere, right? And then if you have time to save their life, you do that, and similar like that. This is a simple example. Then on the emptiness, interdependent, then wherever you see, whatever you see, oh, this is interdependent. For example, your friend, one time your friend is angry with you. If you cannot particularly patient with this, it's so difficult to be patient. You are almost become like a rice cookers. The rice cooker, right? Rice cooker has only one way to go the bread. You cook the rice. Yeah. Yeah. If you try to be patient too much inside, it's not easy. But you think it's interdependent. You easily figure out your own mistakes. Your friend anger with you, fight with you, has some reason from yourself. Also, you analyze these reasons, why coming, why this. Very good to solve the problems. Very easy to solve the problems. Then you have come into way they solve the problems. Otherwise, you suddenly kind of anger, suddenly fight, suddenly, then after happened everything, so then it's too late. Before happened like that, you have those. If you know something about the interdependent, and then in the night you get some series of the dreams, in the morning, you don't need to worry about this. Oh, it's interdependent. So that's why due to the some, it's possible due to the how to sleep. It's possible different imprinting in your mind before you sleep, or due to the some different conditions they are just come, just gone, right? So interdependent is the really important to recognize the emptiness. That is always important. So let you keep in your mind. And then the interdependent is actually we have 12 links of the interdependent. They are according to each others. Sometimes we're talking about the 12 links of interdependent origination of this what is called 12 links of interdependent, or sometimes they talks about how you come in this world, in this samsara. That's where this is the way of the teaching the cause and the effects. Teaching on the karma, that moment you have to need to know that. And then another is this these 12 links, we call it 12 interdependent. This is also during the teaching of the emptiness. We want to know they are related to each others. If they are related to each others, then one part is lost, one part is nothing exists, the another part has no chance to exist, no reason to exist. So that is where they come in this continuously on this. And most of times you think the for example, we say hot and cold, they are interdependent, right? If in your life never you have experience about the cold weather, then you cannot judge between the cold and hot. So you have sometimes you have used some cold weather, sometimes you use the hot weather. That's where then you have this experience. Then you choice in something. You have choices. Okay. Then that next we are established the emptiness of 12 links. 12 links, right? We say we are in this samsara because of the ignorance. And we have ignorance after what? Because of the karmic creation, the created of karma. And then that next we have suffering because of the we have consciousness. We're talking about that, right? So now what we talk, there is no ignorance. There's no ignorance, okay? The ignorance is you labeled. You labeled the ignorance, the ignorance affects your mind. Make sense? The ignorance through the time, past, present, future, there's no ignorance. And then you check about the different part of your feeling. Which part is your ignorance? So the ignorance is also not truly exist. If there's no truly exist ignorance, then there's no suffering. I talk about there's no truly exist ignorance. Maybe you are happy. Heard that, right? Then next I say there's no truly exist suffering. You are more happy. But then your question is, then why we are suffering? That is your question. Still remain with your mind, because that answer is because of your mind. Your mind means you are labeled, because you think this is good. You labeled with a good, then the opposite of good is bad, right? And then you label the happiness. Then you attachment with that. This opposite is then what? Unhappy or suffering. Then you hatred with that. If you label the right hand, why you label this right hand? Because the left hand. Why you labeled the left hand? Because of right hand. That's why then. If you label it with the right hand, then sometimes you use the right way your right hand. Sometimes you use the wrong way with your hand. Right? So that's where those things are interdependent each others. And then through this way you, because of your labels each others. This is the through the negative emotions, they are not truly exist, and positive emotions are not truly exist. But in the forms of the relative truth, they all exist and they are related to each others. You are on the emptiness. That moment, if still there exists some part of good things, still there's some exist some part of a good. Of course, why not? There's exist the bad things. So you are on the meditate or practice on the emptiness, but still you have attachment with these good things, and through this way some bad things affect with your mind, your life. So that's why if you equally from ignorance, from your dharmakaya and ignorance, when you are on the level of the emptiness practice, if you can make equal, if you can look equality, this both of things, then there's nothing, anyone never ever destroyed your mind and your life. And you have no attachment with some good things. But your nature is a real, genuine happiness. That moment. Why we call that is the genuine happiness? Because anything cannot destroy, right? Destroy with that. This happiness is then you can use continuously. Make sense? And then we usually, our wish is if we don't have bad things, we are happy. If we have good things, we are happy. But on this stage, that's where we call the middle way. Middle way. Middle means not tendencies towards good, not tendencies towards bad. Tendencies, right? So that is called the middle way. So you sit on the middle way is hard or difficult? It's the hardest things. Really hard. Do good is sometimes it's pretty easy, honestly. You tendency towards the good is pretty easy sometimes. When you have identified attachment with the good things, then still is very distant to recognize the emptiness. I mean the completely emptiness. The small part of emptiness is we can say we are pretty easily understood. But if completely, the realization of the emptiness is not easy to come with our mind, right? So that's where not tendency too much towards good or bad, and middle. And then usually we are talking about the impermanent. For example, the way of the practice on the impermanent, that is usually we say this is a very important practice. We have the practice on the impermanent, then our practice is more pure, because there is no what is called is thinking of the duality. So that's where this is a very wonderful practice through the impermanent. But we're talking about the emptiness. The impermanent is also not truly exist. If impermanent is not truly exist, then permanent is, of course, right? Permanent, opposite of the impermanent. If impermanent is not exist, the opposite of impermanent is, of course, permanent, right? Permanent is not exist. Okay, this part is I already. And then here says that if you currently kind of happiness, currently some suffering, you are followed with this, you be too much sensitive, then they say you are just you are similar like a dreamer, right? You are in the dream. When you are in the dream, what you are doing? Then you got some dreams. Something is you got a dream, very sweet dreams. You have attachment with that, and sometimes you get some serious dreams. You scared, you afraid, just like that. Until you woke up from the sleeping, you have dreams. So if you don't, right now we all woke up. Nobody sleep, right? Nobody sleeping, but it's similar. We are sleeping right now until we recognize the interdependent, until we recognize the emptiness. So today I talk repeat emptiness maybe 1,000 or more than 1,000, right? But that is a good opportunity to use the more times to emptiness. But whether I talk more or less, and you heard more or less about the emptiness, but you have really keep in your mind is very important. If you listen and just throw, you have this freedom, but then you spend your time here, and then it's you have some result, right? You have result. So for example, if actually I'm so I talking to my old friends once often, if you work, those things are wonderful, and you save the money, that is wonderful, but sometimes today, if one day you save the money, for example, today you saved money, then maybe that money you can use for 1 week, 2 weeks, or 1 month or 2 months. After again you need to work. You want to save the money, right? But if you recognize the emptiness, or you keep this information about the emptiness and interdependent whole life, you can use this whole life. We're not sure what times it's coming seriously some situations. We're not sure what times we are doing some series of things. Really, this is in the form of relatives. It's impermanent. So everything's possible. But really coming something, what is the best protector? The best protector is our wisdom. The wisdom use what? Wisdom have used the emptiness, interdependent. Wisdom use emptiness, interdependent. Right? And then whenever come in some different things, and sometimes we have to opportunity to help a lot of great chance. That moment we use this understanding of emptiness and the experience of the emptiness, realization of the emptiness. So we use those things, right? And then in order for today we heard a few times about the interdependent emptiness, but this is a whole life we can use. They help with us. If we throw bad friends, if we throw bad many of people, if we throw bad parents, if we throw bad in order to we kick out bad friends or parents or some children or whoever. But if we have realization of emptiness and interdependent, they never ever kick out us. So that's where in this life we can use the emptiness and the realization of the emptiness, right? And then we do this, and then not only for this life. This is for next life. In order to, this is the cause of future Buddha, right? If we have to do something, of course they are not become the cause of Buddha, but we do some accumulate merits of the dualities. They are also not reality of the cause of Buddha, right? But reality of cause of Buddha is the emptiness, realization of the emptiness and interdependent. How? Because we want to sit on the emptiness. We want to sit on emptiness means we want to transform our mind in emptiness. So we are meditate on there's not truly exist anything. That self-listeness and self-grasping, all of these things, ignorance and wisdom, they all it's impermanent. Emptiness. We sit on there. Then, if we can stay on this stage for longer, unlimitedly we can stay on this stage. That is the Buddha stage. Really. So some master told us like that. If you are sneezing, right? Sneezing, the moment you have a little bit feeling, that is the example of your kind of genuine happiness. Makes sense? Genuine happiness and the normal happiness is a little bit different. That is, we have to know that. Little bit means it's usually maybe happiness is what kind of happiness? There's many happiness, right? But for example, if you are so excited to something, for example, you are so excited to meet one person, then you meet that person. That moment you give a hug. And you talk sweet, you listen sweet words, and share some heart words, and then spend time together to eat some delicious food, and go maybe some picnic or something, just 1 day or 2 day or 1 month. After then, stay longer, then slowly this happiness is gone. So not stay with you longer. Usually we're talking about the impermanent, but this is the quality of the currently happiness. That is what is the currently happiness. The currently happiness, the quality is that's all. Make sense? The different things have different qualities in order to. For example, if I buy a shoes, pretty expensive, then I wear this 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, maybe 4 year. Then one time I cannot wear this. Because I can wear this 4 years, for example, because that is good qualities. But after 4 years later, I cannot wear that shoes because that has become old and happened something. This is my shoes quality is finished. Good quality is finished. That is the quality of my shoes, right? But we're talking about the genuine happiness, genuine reality of the happiness. We're talking about the emptiness. If we think that is part is only for some realizations or just for understanding, you think like that. That is still a little bit wrong thinking. Real, you have experience with your mind about the emptiness, then you have come in the happiness, reality of happiness. Because you already kick out the self-grasping. If there is no self-grasping, then we're suffering, right? For example, you have no self-grasping with the what is called. You have no self-grasping with, for example, one tree outside the one tree. You have no grasping with that tree. If somebody cut the tree, you have no problem, right? Somebody cut the tree, you have no attachment, no grasping with that tree. Somebody cut the tree, you have no problems. But you have belong that tree, you have grasping with that tree, then somebody cut that tree, you are unhappy. Because you have grasping. So, if you kick out the suffering, you kick out the grasping, then there's no way to suffer. You have no chance to suffer in order to. If you have no way to suffer, then you are happiness. When you recognize the emptiness, when you are on the stage of the emptiness, still you have a feeling. If still you don't have a feeling, then why you want to practice on the emptiness? This feeling is a completely pure happiness, reality of happiness, right? And then another thing is, if you think, if I recognize the emptiness, then I think everything's emptiness, then I cannot give compassion to others. That is maybe you think like that. For example, if you think, everything's emptiness, then someone suffering in front of my eyes, but they are emptiness. Then how I can give compassion, right? Because I think they are emptiness. If you think like that, if you think like that, you come reality of emptiness. The comments that you have reality of the realization of the emptiness, then you easily can't give compassion. Why? Because first I want to give you one instruction. Then Guru Pema Sambhava, you know, right? His disciple asked to him, if you recognize the emptiness, after you do some non-virtues, your activities with non-virtues, it is non-virtues or not. Somebody asked to him. Then he answered that when you recognize the emptiness, then it's impossible to cultivate any non-virtues. It's impossible to do non-virtues. Because you recognize the emptiness at the same time, you have compassion. So you have compassion because you already figured out everything's interdependent each other's, not truly exist any single things. But those mother sentient beings, they still did not figure that out. They think it's truly exist. It's really have a big difference. Sometimes someone fight for the very small things, right? Very small things. When we see those things, there's a very small issue, but they are fight. But sometimes we think this is a very much big issue. We think like that. This is a very much serious issue, serious situation. If we think like that, but when we realize the emptiness and interdependent, those things are small issue. I don't know you have this experience or not. Here I stay at Lama house. Behind of this and in front of them have many ants, right? Now I just look them what they do. They just go inside. They bring small stones and some dirt. Then they put up there, and they go back and bring this and put. They do like once often, do like that. So when that moment, what I see, how many times they need to go to build this like a maybe house or something. Yeah, they do like that. But it looks like a little bit. No, looks like a. If they need to make a house, then from the outside they take outside. Very easy. They don't want to go inside again. In order to what their activities are, we pay attention on there, but we don't care. Make sense? We don't care. We are not suppressed in order to. Just we look that like a children games. Similar, right now what we think is big issue, big result, but then what happened? We realized that the emptiness and interdependence, these big issues are become very small. Oh, yesterday I fight with that person. For what? He say he want to close the door. I say I want to open the door. That's why we are different. Then we are fight. Similar like that. Oh, yesterday I fight with that person because he say I would like to park my car there, but he say I want to park there. That's why. Oh, yesterday I fight with that person because he say he want to wash he say we want to wash the car. I say I don't want to wash the car. Kind of these things, right? And sometimes, yeah, many kind of just due to the few words. Actually, same people talk the same topic, but due to the understanding, little bit misunderstanding, then they makes unhappy each others. Those things are very small issues. Then someone seriously fight each others. Those things are very small issues. They are in reality is just emptiness and interdependent each others. If good, bad things, these issues are interdependent to each others, then we can fix them because of interdependent, right? think like that. Through this way, we have to more chance to be happy in this life through the realization of the emptiness and the interdependent. And as this morning I mentioned it, the interdependent is the like a king of the logic. So let you continuously pay attention on there, and also let you more pay attention, at least make a imprinting on the emptiness. Okay, so this is the principle of the practice in the Mahayana tradition. And there at the center we are practice with the bodhicitta and so on. Then see you tomorrow. We keep going continuously tomorrow, right? Thank you. Okay, right now page 116 16. Your 1,000 arms are 1,000 Chakravarti kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the Buddhas of this fortunate area. I prostrate to the Venerable Jinri, who shows whatever is needed to subdue those to be subdued. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Gevande yen yurda da jere zewan jene roa jejai maleba de zalang. Thank you.